It is 2026, girl. It is time to keep it real. We're not sugarcoating nothing in this video, so hopefully you do not take anything the wrong way. But this is my 10 harsh truths that I personally had to learn after being overweight. As y'all know, we are in a new year, so I know a lot of people are on their weight loss journey. New year, new me, fresh start. Listen, I understand. I'm not shaming it. I'm here for it. I'm supporting you. But I also want to be real with you, okay? Because there are a lot of people that are not being honest. They're not being honest, and they make it look easy, and it's not easy. First things first is that people will lie to you. People will lie to you because they care. And when I say people will lie to you, I'm talking about more so people that you are surrounded by maybe on a day-to-day basis that may see that you are becoming overweight but may not be honest about it. Now, we cannot blame other people for not being honest to us. However, I know that it comes from a place of love and maybe wanting to protect your feelings because they can clearly see it. They can clearly see when you start becoming overweight, even if you don't recognize it first. Most of the time, you will be the last person to recognize it. For me personally, coming from experience, I was 30 pounds overweight outside of my normal weight that I was used to, that people was used to seeing me in. Now, I'm not going to say nobody was honest with me. There was people that were honest with me, but I can tell that there were people that were around me as well that was lying to me. Oh, you look fine. Oh, there's nothing wrong. You getting thick. That's the one right there. You getting thick. They always pose it in a way to where it's like, ooh, girl, you getting thick. Whole time, girl, you getting overweight. And there's nothing wrong with gaining weight, because I don't want to make it sound like it's something wrong with it, because obviously our bodies changes, right? But there is a difference between you gaining a couple pounds and, maybe, your body just fluctuating. I go through it myself, versus you starting to become overweight from you eating poor and not working out, and people knowing that and then witnessing it and still lying to you about it when you ask them, or just seeing you and just not saying something about it. Now, that is a harsh truth that is hard to face and it's hard to be real about. However, it is necessary for you to know, because I personally think going forward, if I ever have to, start over with my weight loss journey or lose weight again, like, I don't see myself doing so unless I get pregnant or something. But if I ever had to do it again, I am not asking anybody, okay? I'm not saying, do you think I'm gaining a little bit of weight? Do you think I'm not asking nobody, because people will lie to you, okay? Your man will lie to you. Your family will lie to you because they don't want to be honest, okay? They know it's going to hurt your feelings, especially if you're a woman. Okay, we know how sensitive we are. And I understand that sometimes you don't want to hear it. But I respect people being honest with me versus telling me, in like a negative type of way. But if I were to ask you, even though I already know, because we already know. You know what you've been doing, right? But if I ask you, I want you to be honest with me. But the harsh truth is that people will lie. Okay, so you have to hold yourself accountable, and you know what you're doing, so you know why you're even asking them that in the first place. So do something about it. Number 2, as we all know, it's not about what you eat, it's about how much you eat. Okay, let's say it again. It's not about what you're eating, it's about how much you're eating. We know that you can eat whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want, but it's the overconsumption that leads to weight gain. Coming from experience, as I said already, these are all things I personally had to recognize and realize myself, right? I had a obsession with wanting something sweet after every meal. I eat healthy, I feel like I gotta reward myself with a cookie. I eat healthy, I feel like I need some ice cream. I need a little brownie. I need something. And it was to the point where as though I was eating it too much. It wasn't that I couldn't have it, it's just that I was overeating. And as we all know, overeating will lead to you gaining weight. Okay, it's the harsh truth, but it's real. It's honest. You have to learn some type of discipline with your portion sizes, and you have to know when to push the plate away. I'm gonna tell you this one thing. I remember, y'all, when I was at work. This is years ago, y'all, because obviously, like I said, I've gained a better knowledge of these things now. So I remember a long time ago when I was at work, this is when I used to work in an office, and we used to have potlucks all the time. Every time something happened, celebrating something at work, we having a potluck, girl, and that was my favorite time. I always been a foodie, always been a foodie. So I remember, and I know she didn't mean no harm by this, but it stuck with me because it was real. And I remember one time, one of the girls I worked with, my coworkers, you know, I used to go to the potlucks, y'all, and pack on my plate, go drop it off at my desk, get another plate, go back in the room, add more stuff because I wasn't able to fit it on that plate, take it back to my desk, and girl, I be at my desk. Now, mind you, this is when I was a lot smaller and I thought that I can eat whatever I wanted, right? It was like, I did this every time. Everybody knew at the potluck, Rashaya gonna have about 2, 3, 4 plates, maybe not 4. I may be exaggerating with 4. But point of the matter is, people knew that I loved to eat and people knew that I loved them potlucks, girl. And one of my coworkers was like, Rashaya, you know you can say no, right? Y'all, when I tell you, that stuck with me for a long time. Now, I'm not going to say that made me lose weight because it did, okay? It did. I wasn't at a point of being overweight at that point. But she was like, you know, sometimes you can say no. And I'm like, you're right. Sometimes I can say no. You don't have to say yes to everything, every desire you have for eating something. You know, like sometimes it's okay to push the plate away and say I had enough. Listen, I have learned a lot and still witness it to this day. Like my mom has so much discipline with her food. It's just like she knows. She like, okay, I'm gonna eat some, I'm done. Like, and she stick with it. Me, I used to be like, wait, let me get one more bite. Let me get one more bite. Let me just get a little bit more, and then a little bit more multiple times. Yeah, it started to add up. It started to add up over time. So the harsh truth about it is that you need to learn how to say no. Number 3 is eliminating food noise. Y'all, this is very hard. This is very hard to do because it starts here in the mind first. It starts in the mind, sister. Listen, the harsh truth is that it is hard. It is hard to stop thinking about, oh, I want this, I want that. Or when you're just lounging around and you just think about food. And some people may not have food noise. Some people may not have food noise. But this is something that I personally feel most people can relate to. Like, especially when you're bored. That is the most time that I feel myself just thinking about wanting something that I should not have, is when I'm bored. And it shouldn't be that case, right? It's all in the mind. You have to change your mindset. You got to get mentally stronger, put your focus on other things. Think about it in a way of like, no, that's not going to do anything for me as far as my health goes, but it will help with the craving I'm having right now. But the harsh truth is that the food noise is hard. It is very hard. Like I said, it's something that I'm still currently dealing with, but it is something that I have recognized and I realized and I understand now that I have lost the weight that I've lost and when I was overweight, because that for me was where most of my overeating, really came from, is when I started to think about food a lot, even when I'm not doing anything that involves eating. I can just eat sometimes. This is before, not now. Just eat sometimes and then still hearing food in my head. Like, I want something else. I want something else. I want something else. And it's like, you have to control it. You have to control it. It will take a lot of hard work and mental discipline. But it's possible. It's definitely possible. I would say that I have reduced my food noise, but I have not fully eliminated my food noise because, girl, listen, the mind just be racing sometimes, but it's the harsh truth and it's the reality of it. And it is what it is. Number 4 is that I was able to see insecurities that I was trying to hide in myself when I was overweight. And I have always deemed myself in the past to be a very secure person on the outside, right? I'm feisty. I feel like it just was natural to me to just feel so confident, right? And other people looked at me that way as well. However, when I was overweight, y'all, I knew that I was insecure inside. I knew I was insecure inside, but I could not show it. However, it was very hard. It was very hard to not show it at times when I can feel it inside. So I try to run away from the fact that I felt insecure, or it made me feel insecure to admit to myself that I was insecure because I knew myself to be so confident that it's like, but no, you're not right now. Actually, you don't like the way you look. Actually, when you look in the mirror, you feel like, what is this? This is literally the thoughts that I used to have, and I had to realize and recognize and be honest with myself about, because no, right now, I don't feel my best. Right now, I feel like SHIT. I look like to myself somebody that I don't recognize in the mirror. Now, it took me a while to actually overcome that, but the harsh truth is that it was real, and it exposed me it stripped me down. It stripped me down. Being overweight stripped me down. It stripped my ego down. It stripped my just moment to be honest with myself about my insecurities, because I knew that I didn't like it, but I tried to tell myself, it's okay, I still look cute, I'm pretty though, which, you know, obviously you want to still motivate yourself and feel good about yourself no matter what. However, you also have to be honest with yourself. You can be beautiful. It's not just about looks for me, right? It never been about looks, but I also had to be honest with myself on just not feeling my best, even if it wasn't just physically. Even in the inside, I felt tired. I felt just like not okay. It just wasn't right. But being overweight taught me that, oh no, you actually have to be honest with yourself right now, because even though you may think you all at the bag of chips, which you should, right? You really feel like SHIT. In that moment, in those moments, I was not feeling my best, and I was not feeling as confident as I thought that I would. Hard truth number 5 is that I found myself wearing clothes that I probably would not typically wear had I not been overweight. I knew myself to be, I've always been, like I said, fairly confident. So I also displayed that in the things that I wore when I was smaller, you know, before I became overweight. I'm not overweight right now, FYI, I just say that. When I was overweight, y'all, I found myself wearing a lot more stretchier clothes, more baggy clothes, like trying to tap into the overweight style. And that really was never my style. Like I've always been, and I'm not being funny, but I've always been a tight wearing type of girl, you know, show a little belly, you know, not super revealing, but just more form fitting clothes. Like how this shirt is fitting me now. If I was overweight and I didn't feel so secure about my belly area, for me back then being overweight, I would not have worn the shirt. I probably would have wore a sweatshirt over it, or just something that's more covering, obviously, that's covering up the things that I don't want other people to see, because I don't like the way I look. So I found myself gearing more towards clothes that I typically would not wear. I'm not saying I don't like sweatsuits. I love sweatsuits, right? But back then, that wasn't what I was wearing. I wasn't wearing a whole bunch of sweatsuits and baggy clothes and jackets, and I'm like looking back at old pictures, and I'm like, you can definitely see that I was wearing stuff that was trying to hide what I was insecure about, which was my weight at that time. And then you look at after, and now I'm back wearing tight clothes. Like, it's just me being honest. Like, people are not honest about this, and it's so real. So if you find yourself, you know, gearing more towards like baggier clothes because you're overweight or because you're feeling insecure, that is a sign. That is a sign. That was a sign for me. It was a sign I had to realize, even though I did not want to believe it. I just told myself, oh, I just like this style. And I'm not saying that if you like these clothes or these pieces now that means you're overweight. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you feel like you're overweight and you finding yourself putting on these type of clothes to make you feel better about yourself, that should be your sign. That's what I'm saying, okay? And I'm also speaking from experience, because I don't want anybody to take this out of context as I'm saying this, because I know it is a very sensitive topic, but that's the reason why it is the harsh truth. Okay, harsh truth number 6 for me that I recognize and realize after being overweight is that it is very fun gaining the weight, but it's very hard to lose the weight. Ooh, child, I had to learn the hard way, girl. It is all fun and games when you're just stuffing your face, going out with your man, drinking, eating, having a ball, We balling out. We having fun, okay? It is so much fun to eat. It is so much fun to drink. Then you end up feeling it later on. Now, it take a little while sometimes for you to really see it and notice it yourself. But baby, it is fun in the moment. I can tell you that. You can't tell me going out for mixed drinks and having a good time partying, you know, making little drinks at home, keep drinking wine every single night. You eating cookies, cakes, donuts, Subway, McDonald's. Girl, I'm just naming stuff. But that stuff is fun, right? It tastes good. It make you feel good. Heavily on taste good, because it do taste good, girl. I love me a good donut, right? But then when it's time to get that weight off, girl, that is hard. You have to do twice as much work as you did than just doing this. Okay, this part is easy. This is easy and it's fun. But when you got to go get on that treadmill and you got to start measuring your food and you got to start having smaller portions and you got to eat your fruits and vegetables, and girl, that part is hard because you want to give up. And it's so easy to just give up because you know you don't really want to do it, right? So that part requires a lot more mental strength, obviously, because you have to stay focused and tunnel vision if you want to, get to the point where you want to get to, which is obviously weight loss. And then you also have to put in a lot of physical work if you feel like you want to, because you don't necessarily need to go super hard in the gym, but it just depends on how fast you want to see results. It's like you find yourself running and you tired and it's like you got to put more energy into. It's just a lot. It's a lot because you know you are trying to get off something that you should not have had on anyway. I'm not going to say should not because people gain weight. I'm not going to say should not. I'm speaking for myself, okay? When I speak, I'm speaking for myself. I'm going to say should not for me. In my mind, I'm like, you shouldn't even be having to do all this work if you wasn't just more disciplined, Rashaya. Like, come on. It's hard. It's hard to get it off, but it's easy to put it on, and that's just the harsh truth and reality of it. Number 7 harsh truth is that you actually have to do the work. I know. It's the reality of it, right? You actually have to do the work. That is just the truth. That's just being honest. You cannot think that you are going to get results by being lazy. Oh, I'm just gonna make some changes. I'm not gonna do too much. Do I still want to eat like this? But I'm gonna just start eating a little bit more fruits and vegetables. No. If you finding yourself to wanting to get to a point where you want to get to with losing weight and becoming healthier, you have to just do it, and you can't have it, right? You got to go all in. I personally feel like once you go all in and you've gotten the results that you want to get, you learned through that journey, like, dang, that was hard. That took a lot for me to do. I don't want to do that anymore. Like I tell myself, I am not going back to the 180s. I am not going back to the 180s. Okay. I have told myself that, and I am determined not to do that because it is hard to get back down, like I just said. So for me, it's like I had to learn from going through the hard stuff that, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. Okay, so if I don't want to do that anymore, I have to maintain the things that I'm doing right now to keep me where I'm at. Or if I fluctuate just a little, just not too much. Okay, keep it cute. So the harsh truth is that you actually have to put in the work consistently, even after you have gotten to the point where you're at. It still takes effort, okay? It takes effort. You cannot think you're going to be lazy about it and see results. You cannot think you're going to be lazy about it and be able to maintain it. It's something that you have to choose for yourself. That's why it's called a lifestyle. It's called a lifestyle for a reason, because once you transition from eating unhealthy and just doing all this crazy stuff with your diet and your health and not working out, and then you transition to the other side of being more healthier, being more conscious of things you're eating, moving your body, doing all the things, you don't want to go back. I wouldn't want to go back, okay? I mean, people fall off. It's fine to fall off, but to go all the way back from where you started, no ma'am. No ma'am. Harsh truth number 8 is that you will make excuses until you are tired. That is the truth. I don't want to hear it. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because you're not tired enough. You're not tired enough. Because I'm telling you, once you are at a point of being tired, of being overweight and just feeling unhealthy, you will make a change silently. Like it won't be loud. It will not be loud. It'll be silent. Most of the time, that's when you know somebody is serious about something, but especially with the weight loss, because you want to tell all your friends I'm serious this time. I'm for real. Like, I'm really going to do it. I'm going to really start over on Monday. And I'm not laughing because, y'all, this was me too, right? I'm for real. I'm going to do it this time. Like, I'm really going to do it. I'm committed. And then you fall off. And then you do the same thing again, and then you fall off. And then you do the same thing again, and then you fall off. So the truth is, you're not going to do it until you're ready to do it. And you're not going to feel like you need to do it until you are tired. You have to get tired of feeling the way you feel, not being satisfied with how you look in the mirror, in your clothes, naked, because that's the real truth, is when you get naked. When you get naked and you're tired of seeing it and you're tired of feeling it, that is when you are going to find yourself just ready to do it. You're gonna be ready to do it after that, and you're gonna be committed after that. And like I said, you will not want to go back after that because you already locked in. People will make excuses for things that they don't want to be honest about. That's just the reality of it. It's just, it is what it is. But just say that, oh, like for me, I'm gonna use myself for an example, and I said this before in one of my other videos. I feel like my first video, when I was explaining my whole journey with my fitness and health and all the things, is that when I was overweight and I used to look in the mirror was right there by the shower. So I used to get, naked, get in the shower, and I used to stop almost every day to look in the mirror and say, I do not like the way I look, but I'm not gonna stop. I literally said that out loud. Nobody lived with me. They ain't hear me. Nobody heard me but me. And the fact that I was able to do that meant that I was not tired yet. Because even though I saw what I looked like and I was not happy with it in the mirror, it did not make me want to actually do anything about it until I got tired of it. And I had gained more weight even after that because I still was not tired. So you have to get tired and you have to be fed up with it in order for you to actually want to stay committed to it and get the weight off. Okay, we're not playing around this year. I'm not playing with y'all. Harsh truth number 9 is something that I had a hard time with wanting to admit to myself. And it is that I became obsessed with getting on the scale when I was overweight. I became obsessed with the scale. It was so bad. It was so unhealthy, and I've gained a better relationship with it. But it was something that I recognized maybe more so when I started to see results. So I'm overweight. I'm actually putting in work now. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating healthy, and I'm not seeing the results fast enough in my mind. That's what I'm telling myself, even though I know I'm doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, right? But I had an unhealthy relationship with the scale because I used to get on there almost every single day. And if I didn't see a change on that scale, and I didn't just eat broccoli, rice, and salmon for a week, I'm exaggerating with this, but the point is me eating healthy for a whole week or just a one day, and I went to the gym, I did my workout, and I get on the scale the next morning and I don't see a pound down, oh, I'm frustrated. So I had to be honest with myself, and of course it took a while. I'm not gonna lie, it took a while for me to gain a better relationship with the scale, but I was obsessed. Okay, I used to get on there, I used to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not going hard enough. Like, girl, give yourself a break, give yourself a chance, give your body a chance to adjust to the changes that you make. And how do you think you're gonna see results in one day? You get on a scale every single day. You cannot think that you are gonna see results on a scale getting on there every single day. So the expectations that I had was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I had to gain a better relationship with the scale. For me, I really didn't see myself gaining a better relationship with the scale until I actually lost the weight. I'm just being honest. Until I lost the weight, girl, I was like, okay, I'm finally where I want to be. I don't have to be on the scale every single day because obviously I didn't got the weight off at this point. But that is very unhealthy for me. Speaking for myself, I'm not telling nobody else what to do, but that was a harsh truth that I had to realize for myself. And I'm just so happy that I've gained a better relationship with the scale. And I'm talking about the scale that you step on, not the scale that you put your food on, because you should have both. If you are in a calorie deficit and you're trying to lose weight, you should have a scale. I know some people feel, however they feel about a scale because muscle and fat and all these things, but I do think that it's a good reference point to use for your weight loss. But I don't think you should be getting on a scale every single day. Like, that part to me is very unhealthy in my opinion. Harsh truth number 10 is that people will be hating, girl. They be hating. You will have people around you that will be hating. That is the harsh truth, okay? You have most of the time where a lot of people will support you on your weight loss journey and be like, oh my gosh, girl, do it, girl. Supporting you, but you will have those people on the sidelines just waiting on your downfall, girl. That's just being honest. And I'm not going to say, who I felt like was not supporting me or was waiting on me to fail when I was on my journey, because it's not anybody y'all personally know or personally maybe in my life anymore. But I will say there will be some form of negativity there, but I don't focus on that. I think that some people want you to stay stagnant and stay yourself and be in a negative space with them. And because they not ready to lose weight, they don't want you to lose weight. Listen, girl, remove those people, remove that noise. We don't want to hear that, okay? We only want to be surrounded by people that will support us on our journeys. It is a personal journey. It is something that you are in charge of. It's something that is for you. So I personally just think just tunnel vision, lock in, whoever supports you, supports you. I don't want to make this such a dramatic thing, but I do also want to be honest that you will have people that have comments and negativity maybe somewhere, or, oh, I liked you better when you was this size, or, oh, you got too small, oh, you lost too much weight. I didn't heard it all. I didn't seen it all. I don't really care. Those things don't bother me. But at the time when I was, doing my weight loss journey, and then I had lost my 30 pounds, and people say like, oh, you got too small, or, oh, your head is kind of big now. Now, I'm not going to say it wasn't any truth to that, because maybe I did. I did think I had got too small at some point. But do it for yourself. Just know that you cannot expect everything to just be positive around such a change that you want to make for yourself, because you will have those people that will not support it, and that is fine, okay? We are in 2026. This is a brand new year. This is the first month of the year. So I wanted to make this video because these are 10 harsh truths, and I have more, to be honest. If y'all want a part 2, let me know. But I'm big on being honest and holding myself accountable. That is the type of person that I am. That is the type of person I've grew to become. I just personally think you will not see results unless you are honest with yourself. Don't ask nobody their opinion about what you already know. You already know you've been doing too much. You already know you had fun in 2025. You already know you want to lose weight. You already know all these things. So with you knowing all of these things, just do the work. Do the hard part, girl. Anyway, let me know if y'all like this video. If you want a part 2, I can do another 10, girl, because listen, I learned a lot. I learned a lot to get me to this point, and I'm grateful. So thank you for watching the video. Hype the video. Share the video with your friends, family, loved ones, all the things, girl. Okay? I see you on the next one. Bye, girl.